You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile, a cell phone provider that's hooking you guys up with unlimited talk and unlimited texting plans for as low as $15 per month. Take advantage of that. Go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. On today's show, we're going to go take a look at 5 wide receiver targets the Giants could sign because there's only 2 healthy wide receivers on this roster. Kenny Golladay, he's hurt. He has a sprained MCL. Ian Rappaport reported that this morning, saying that Kenny Golladay suffered an MCL sprain in Sunday's win over the Bears and is not expected to make the trip to London, a source said. A shorthanded position group gets even more shorthanded. And it does. I mean, look at this wide receiver depth chart right now. There's legitimately 2 healthy wide receivers on the roster. And that's David Sills and that's Darius Slayton. Probably the worst 2 receivers on the roster are healthy. Kenny Golladay, he's hurt. Sterling Shepard, out for the season. Kadarius Toney, he's hurt. Hopefully he plays. Wan'Dale Robinson, he's hurt. Hopefully he plays. And Richie James, he's hurt. Hopefully he plays. So before I share with you guys the 5 wide receivers I think the Giants should go and take a look at, I want to hear from you. Name a wide receiver you want the Giants to sign. Give me a name in the comments section. A wide receiver you want the Giants to go out and sign. Because I know we don't have any money, but you can't go to a football game with just 2 healthy wide receivers. So give me a name of a guy you want the Giants to sign. Let's first look at the Giants practice squad wide receivers, because I think that's the first place Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen will look, and that's in the practice squad. Marcus Johnson, he's on the practice squad. Kalil Pimpleton, the Hard Knocks celebrity, and Makai Polk, the rookie wide receiver, he's also on the practice squad. So if the Giants are to elevate somebody from the practice squad, it would be one of these 3 guys. I would vote probably Kalil Pimpleton would be the guy, but who knows? They haven't done it yet, which makes me feel like Toney or Wan'Dale Robinson might play this week. Let's go through some wide receiver free agent targets. And I know before we talk about Tavon Austin, because he's on the show, on the screen right now, I first want to address Odell Beckham Jr. He's not on this list because he's not healthy. These are guys the Giants could go out and sign right now that could play. Odell's still a couple of months away. I do think the Giants have a chance to sign him, though, once he gets healthy. But I have Tavon Austin number 1 on this list. Coming from Buffalo, no ties to Daboll and Schoen, but he kind of fits what the Giants like at wide receiver. Short, quick, fast, able to contribute in shallow routes, crossing routes, able to do stuff with the ball in his hands. Hasn't had the best career in the NFL. Hasn't played this year. 24 grabs last year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just 5 grabs in 2020. And then 2019 he had 13 grabs. But he's a pro. He's quick. He's fast. And he's better than what we have on the practice squad. I think Tavon Austin is a guy the Giants could look at. He was just let go by the Bills practice squad. If you want the Giants to beat the Packers this week, subscribe. Sub for Giants dubs. That's what we're doing. We're subscribing for Giants dubs. So you want to go 4-1, hit that big red button right now. What about a familiar face? What about Alex Bachman, a guy that I know a lot of you are fans of? Didn't work out for Bachman in the preseason, even though he had a Victor Cruz type of performance against the Cincinnati Bengals. 11 grabs, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that preseason game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. He didn't make the Giants' active roster. It sounded to me from some people I talked to that they offered him a position on the practice squad, but Bachman turned that down, thinking he would get a chance on an active roster somebody else. But look, the Giants are desperate right now. Bachman's better than anybody the Giants have on the practice squad, and I think he might actually be better than David Sills. I think Bachman could be a guy the Giants go and take a call on and see if they can get him to this active roster. Because look, he knows the system. He's a slot receiver, and he's produced in the system, albeit it was in the preseason. But I do think there's a chance that they could look at Bachman coming up this week. If you want the Giants to sign Alex Bachman, I know he's a fan favorite. I want you to type 81 in the comment section right now. If you want the Giants to sign Alex Bachman, type 81 in the comment section right now. I also want to tell you guys more about Mint Mobile and why you should switch over today. A cell phone provider that's on the nation's largest 5G network, unlimited talk, unlimited text for as low as $15 per month. Unlimited premium wireless plans starting at $15 per month. My favorite part about Mint Mobile was how easy it was to switch over. I got to keep my same phone, I got to keep my same phone number, and I didn't have to go into the store to switch over. I did it all online thanks to their digital eSIM card technology. Take advantage of the deal, unlimited premium wireless plans starting at $15 per month. All you got to do, go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. What about Chris Conley, the 6'3", 200-pound wide receiver that ran a 4.3 40 at the NFL Combine and had a 45-inch vertical? Yeah, 6'3", 205 pounds, 4.3 40, and a 45-inch vertical. The reason I think this makes some sense is because he overlapped with Mike Kafka in Kansas City. He was in Kansas City for 2 years while Mike Kafka was there. So if there's a good relationship between Conley and Kafka, I think this is the type of guy the Giants could go out and try to take a flyer on. He's been decent in the NFL, hasn't lived up to the hype. But look, 47 grabs in 2019, 40 grabs in 2020, 5 TDs in 2019, and 4 TDs in 2020 and 2021. Look, you're not going to find any playmaking, game-changing wide receivers in free agency right now. Look, it's October 6th. You're not going to find that guy. But Conley, he's produced. He knows the Kafka system. There's some familiarity there, so I definitely think he's a name to monitor. Another name that I know a lot of Giants fans have talked about, what about Will Fuller? Because we always hear that the Giants, they don't push the ball vertically. They have nobody that can get behind people. Somebody that can, somebody that's got some wheels, somebody that can put some pressure on a safety, that's Will Fuller. He's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL. The thing is, he's kind of like Toney. He's kind of like Robinson. He's kind of like Shepard. He's kind of like Galladay. Seems like he's hurt more than he's available. But when he's available, he's a damn good football player. Look at that 2020 season before he signed that contract with the Miami Dolphins. 53 receptions, almost 900 yards, 16.6 yards per catch, 8 touchdowns. He's a Philly native, close to the area. I think it's worth a call. I'd work him out. I would see what he's got left in the tank, because he would be immediately the Giants' best deep threat on the roster. We just showed you 2 guys, though, and I want to know which one of these guys you would sign if you're Joe Schoen. Pick one to sign. Type CC for Chris Conley, or you can go down and type WF for Will Fuller. I'd rock with Fuller. He's had success more recently in his career, and I think he fits this scheme a little bit better, but I want to hear from you. Type WF for Fuller or CC for Chris Conley. What about a vet? What about a guy that's more established and more held in a higher light than anybody else on this list? T.Y. Hilton. Hasn't played so far this year yet, but we know that T.Y. Hilton, when he played in his prime, especially with Andrew Luck, was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. He's not that guy anymore, but I do think he's better than the people we have on this roster. I think he could make an impact. He's someone that just knows the NFL. He's been productive. He could be a veteran to a guy like Toney, to a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson, to a lot of people on this roster like Richie James. I mean, last year, it wasn't all that great. 23 receptions for 330 yards. He did have 3 touchdowns. But he's a guy who's just a good football player. Those are the 5 guys that I would look at if I'm the Giants. Tavon Austin, Alex Bachman, Chris Conley, Will Fuller, and T.Y. Hilton. If you have a name that I didn't mention, drop them in the comments section. I'll check them out. I think Andy Isabella is another name. But how about we just get some wide receivers on this roster to step up, like Kadarius, Toney, and Wan'Dale Robinson. You know, the guys that we spent 1st and 2nd round picks on. It'd be really, really cool if those guys could participate. But I appreciate everybody for making Giants Now a part of their day today. Did you make it this far in the video? If you did, comment real one in the comment section right now.